Peace be to you. Into the problem of evil. Let us begin with a question.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Curfew Catholic, the Evangelion podcast. In this podcast, we're going to be picking the brains of Catholic enthusiasts and trying to get to the bottom of how to live truly as a Catholic in contemporary times. My name is Dominic Malgeri, and in this episode, we're going to be picking the brains of a priest from Iraq, Father Douglas, who currently lives in South Auckland. But before we get into that, let me just tell you about Evangelion. This podcast is produced by Evangelion, and our mission is to evangelize the whole of New Zealand, to share the light of Christ in the hearts of all Catholics by sharing the truth of our faith in a compelling manner. And that involves you, so if you'd like to get involved or find out what we're doing in the future, sign up to our emailing list, follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and go onto our webpage at evangelion.co.nz and check us out if you want to be the first to find out with what's going on with us. If you like this podcast and you're listening on the audio, do give us 5-star ratings on whatever app you're listening to. Put some positive comments and share this around. But without further ado, let's get on with the podcast. And we have joining us Father Douglas. Welcome, Father Douglas.
Thank you, Dominic. Thanks for having me. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, not at all. There's a bit of a storm going on over here, so we might cut in and out, but we'll try and make sure it's as smooth as possible on the edit. So, Father Douglas, before we continue, who are you? Where are you from, and what do you do?
A part of my name is Douglas, but it doesn't mean that I am from Scotch or from I'm Iraqi 100%. And I was born in Baghdad a couple, maybe 300-400 years ago, I don't know, and ordinated in Baghdad. So I've been parish priest in Baghdad for a long time before I was moved to New Zealand a couple of years ago. So nearly now 5 years here in New Zealand. And simply, I'm just normal priest, belong to the Chaldean Catholic Church. And Chaldean is one of the church, we are not a little bit, let's say old, but antique. We are Christian from the 1st century. Some people, they say, oh, since when you are Christian? Some just 2,000 years. Sometimes you go a little bit over, especially in the churches in Middle East, because we are always under, struggle there. Sometimes when you just try to say that we've been before that church, we've been before. We say we are Christian before Christ himself. Of course not. But for sure we are from the 1st century, being Chaldean, because the Saint Adda is one of the 72 disciples who came to the north of Iraq and established the first church in Iraq. So since that time till now, we are Christian there in Iraq.
Wow, so St. Adai, that's the name of your parish down in Papatoetoe, is it?
Yes, that's right, Saint Adai.
Saint Adai. And so you've been in New Zealand for 5 years, and you've come from Baghdad, which is right in the middle of Iraq.
Yes.
That's one of the things that I'm originally from England. I don't know if you can tell from the accent, but when I came to New Zealand, that was one of the things that struck me is like there's a lot of Iraqi people in this country. And I had a friend back at home, and his parents were Iraqi, but they were very English in their culture. And as soon as I met someone that was from Iraq over here, next thing I know, I'm eating Iraqi food. I'm in an Iraqi household. They're speaking Iraqi. It's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And you've got a very vibrant culture. So I imagine moving to New Zealand, which is quite European, was quite a culture shock. Would you say so?
It's a depend if it's your choice to move or it's been forced to be, to leave the country. So it's completely different. So I think my community or our people in general, I'm talking about the Christian in general in Iraqi and Christian maybe in special. I would say that we are sometimes dancing between two words. I am a refugee or immigrant. So I'm going to one day will go back to my country, or that's it, should I? So always the people, they are between. We have here in New Zealand. There's 50% of people always talking about Iraq, and another 50 they never mention Iraq because always there's like there's a story, there's a sad story behind, there is some struggle. Okay, so in any case, I will just say special to this region, where is the Australia, because there is a lot of majority from the Chaldean in Sydney and Melbourne, and here in New Zealand. I will say that New Zealand for our people actually it's paradise. We are
Mm.
we are blessed. We are lucky to be in this country,
Yeah.
and a lot of our community. They are doctors, pharmacies, engineers. So always they are like paying back to the culture, to the community, and we have to. Myself, when I talk with the special with the kids, which they were born here and grow up here, always telling them, "Hey guys, you should be proud. You are Kiwis." But still in your blood you're Iraqi. So one day that passion will take you to the from where you are and
Mm.
be proud of it. But you are Kiwi. Don't let anyone to say no. Don't say, because still sometime we have like that.
Mm.
Okay, I am from that town. I want my kids to be. No, of course, the
Mm.
love will lead us from where we are. As Iraqi, Iraq has 7,000 years of civilization. Of course, there's not the time just to count what's the Iraq in the past give to the world. From, for example, from the alphabet. Sometime when I want just teasing these people, I will say, there is one thing actually. It's produced, or let's say, made by Iraqi people. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5,000 years, and they say what? I say beer, alcohol, and they say what? I say yeah. We create that. I don't know, should I say we should be proud or I'm sorry for that, but actually we made that.
Mm.
Okay, we actually offer that to the world. We are the first country, and so there's a lot of things we have really proud of it. And again, just to say, Iraqi people, we are a little bit, let's say, crazy with hospitality. We are really crazy with hospitality.
No, I've experienced that firsthand. Yes.
Now, with all the trouble things in Iraq, when there's a lot of reports were saying who's the people they can host, or generosity with, we'll say Iraqi is there first, because we believe in that. We have also in our tradition, if you come to visit me, still we have like that things. Please don't call me if you want to come. Please just come like this. And it's shame to bring with something with you. No way. Because and when you come to my house, offer the things, like food, everything, it's also to shame to say thank you. Say no, don't say thank you. We have to say thank you because you visit us. So some people like here in New Zealand, sometimes
Mm.
they say, but how come?
Mm.
How? I know it's completely different, but this is from where we are.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think there are still those things, still they are a little bit, still going from generation to another.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So I've got a few friends that are from Iraq, and as they've gotten older and they've gotten married, I've been blessed to be uh, invited to a few Iraqi weddings, and they're something different. They're very, very, very amazing. I just can't put it into words. Fantastic. I loved every single moment of them. So I just try and make more and more Iraqi friends so I can get invited to their celebrations, because they know how to party, and like
Yeah.
you say, their hospitality is second to none. So you say you're in the Chaldean rite, and we're in the Roman rite. So what's the difference? How are Chaldeans different? What is the mass different? Do you have different saints? Could you tell us a bit about the Chaldean rite?
Honestly, we became Catholic around 500 years ago, because we called the Eastern Church, or the Church of the East, because that day when proclaimed, and Saint Thomas went to the India. So after all east side, like China, India, all that they were. We start to proclaim even Mongolia, even China. Our church actually took over all that region. So till now, yeah, with the Malabar, Malakar, sometimes they are still say the same mass, celebrating the same mass as Christian, but in different way, but the same words. Uh, in 500 years, we were a union with the patriarch, that's mean the archbishop of our pope in Chaldean church, with the Roman. So we became a Catholic. But when you say Catholic, we are in unity in all dogma, theology, but still we have different in our rite, liturgia, the language. Uh, uh, so sometimes I'm a little bit jealous by Roman Mass because it's a little bit blah 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 finish. Okay, the Mass is we sing all the Mass. Okay, so
Right, yeah, yeah.
okay. Sometimes it depends if the priest has beautiful, sound or beautiful voice. Okay,
Mm.
we'll take 1 hour or 1 hour 30, sometimes 2 hours. Okay, but if not, we'll be like Roman Catholic, just 30 minutes and goodbye.
Yeah, yeah. The grass is always green on the other side because I know I've heard of a lot of people that prefer that kind of like more Eastern Catholicism because of like the beauty and the like the ceremony of the singing. I remember one time actually, it wasn't an Eastern church. I actually went to a sung mass for the Roman rite, and it was by accident, and that took me 2 hours. But like again, it was done in Westminster Cathedral in London, and so they had like a full choir and everything, and I didn't realize it was 2 hours until I left the church. I went in at 6 and came out at 8. But yeah, that's
I
quite an
attend
experience.
that mass too
You
in
have,
Western. Yes, with Bishop Nicholas.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right.
so yeah, you typically the Chaldean rite has more like, as we say in the Roman rite, bells and smells, a bit more singing, a bit more ceremony around different things. But like, so the basis is the same. Is like you have your liturgy of the Eucharist, you have the liturgy of the Word, and you have the homily. Except it's probably all in what language is it in?
So this we are still using the Aramaic. So Aramaic is the people they call it the spoken language by Jesus. But Aramaic actually why still there in Iraq in our liturgia because 3,000 years it was one of the empire called Assyrian Empire. The Assyrian Empire they were a lot of languages that time. So that time the kingdom of that empire they decide to have one language because make the whole region to understand. So they pick the Aramaic because it's a little bit easy and it's easy to write from from right to left. So this and they force people to speak it. So when Assyrian and even the Chaldean when they invaded all the region, even the Holy Land. So they forced people there to speak Aramaic. That's why even Jesus, he was he spoke two languages, Aramaic and Hebrew.
Yeah.
So it's normal to everyone. So still we are speaking the same language, Aramaic in different dialect, but still we're here with the family, our kids, with our mass, still we are using the Aramaic.
That's beautiful. That's really cool.
I make like that one like Shakespeare one and there's like dialogue one of course.
Ah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Language is an interesting thing. There's so many different things about it. Like I'm from England, and in from town to town, the accent can change, and depending on how well you know the language, it sounds like it's a different language. So like you listen to someone that's from like Newcastle compared to someone that's from London, and they don't sound like they're speaking the same language. I'm sure you've
Yeah,
experienced it. Yeah.
we have the same.
Yeah. All right. It says it's similar in Iraq. Um, so I want to dive into the topic now and get. We're going to talk a bit more about persecution in the church. It's been said that the 21st century is the time where Christians have experienced the most persecution. There's been the most Christian martyrs. And when I hear that, I'm kind of like shocked a bit, but I'm also like, I don't see it. Because as you mentioned, like we live in New Zealand and it's kind of a paradise. And yeah, we see things like people don't like Christians. People will use the fact that you're Christian as a criticism. But especially today, we've got this, what's happening recently in Afghanistan and what's continually happening, from my understanding, in Iraq. Could you give us an explanation of what persecution is in your perspective, or from what you've experienced?
So when people, when I don't know how to cross, when they talk about the persecution, for example, against the Christian or Yazidis or all minorities living among the, especially in Middle East, for example. Of course, we will just a little bit talk later about what's going on in Afghanistan. In any case, I always advise people, please don't judge from the beginning. You have to listen carefully, try to do some search. Don't believe in media, and we have to ask the right people. Not talk about them, but talk with them. Let them explain what is going on. Of course, if people they are living under persecution and you ask them what's going on, they will not be very, freely to talk and mention everything. They will be very careful when they talk about. It's everywhere. Even here, it's everywhere. Because always there's a people that were gonna attack you because there is some background, different background. Especially when I talk about here about the Christian and persecution. Usually, to me, I don't use that word. I always use the word genocide. Because what's happened to my people, I mean my people Christian in Iraq, it is systematic genocide. Because, excuse me, till 2003 in Iraq there were 1.6 million. Now we are less than 200,000 in Iraq. What happened? Fled, kidnapped, killed, a lot of persecution. Not even just against the Christian, but against Yazidis. Yazidis, they are also a group of people. They don't believe in God, but they are very nice people. What happened to them? It was completely genocide, disaster. When we talk about the truth, we have to say the truth, how it is, okay? Some people, maybe they like it. Some people, when I talk about who did that to you, immediately people, they will say, oh, you have phobia, you have Islamophobia. I say, no, we have to recognize between Muslim and Islam. Muslim and Islam. Muslim people, I was born in Baghdad among Muslim people. So Muslims, they are my friends. We respect each other. But we talk about the ideology of Islam. That is, I'm completely, I will not say against, but completely that idea is against me. There is no way to live with that ideology called Islam. Why? Because they are following the book. Following the book, it's mean I should not be live. Because it's written there, who believe that, for example, that Jesus is Son of God, okay, he is kafir. Kafir, that's mean infidel. And the punishment of infidel, according to Islam, it's beheaded. Not kill, beheaded. Because if you kill, that's sin to Islam. Beheaded the kafir, infidel, this is a good credit in heaven to you. So it's different. This is a crime if you kill, but if you beheaded, this is not a crime for Islam. So here the problem. Same thing with Afghanistan. Same thing what happened in Egypt. Same thing happened with everywhere. Because the idea is the wrong is there. For the Muslim, no, we are a good relationship with a lot of Muslims. They are nice, but when the diet ideology control them, they can do nothing. That's why they are white people. If they want, for example, living a country in a Muslim country like Afghanistan, white people, they are running after the airplane just to leave the country. What is the pushing Christian people, for example, to leave the Iraq after 2,000 years there of history? So this is what happened with genocide. And this is not the first time. Last 100 years, my people been attacked 8 times. But of course, nobody knows. Nobody knows. I start talk about genocide. I went to remember to European Parliament, first time couple of years ago. Exactly, they told me, don't bring word persecution. At all, don't mention it. Talk about word, for example, you are struggle there. I say, oh, struggle? Do you know how many priests I saw their bodies in front of my eyes? Do you know how many people from my community being shot, killed? Struggle? Are we talking here about internet access? Talking about life of people. So I'm not going to use I'm going to use word genocide. And here we go. Those days, the president of France, he is in Mosul. He went to visit Baghdad and Mosul, okay? And he saw what was going on there. And what a pity. He visited Mosul, and he should go to another town called Sinjar, where is the Yazidis. They were there. Of course, Yazidis, those people, just maybe 5,000 people from their group disappear maybe in a couple days. Nobody knows where they are. So what I'm saying again, it's not easy to be a Christian in Middle East.
Yeah. So there's a few things there that I found quite interesting. Is like you are able to, and I think it's it's right. Be able to say, okay, Islam is the ideology, but Muslims are the people. But surely knowing that Muslim people are followers of Islam, mustn't that put you on edge whenever you're around them, or is it because you grew up with them that you don't see the ideology before you see the person?
That time it was different. Why? Because with ex-regime in Iraq, when was Saddam in his power, when was Saddam doesn't trust religious, the religion people, leaders, and he was against them because he wants to control the country, not the religion people. So that time, nobody was able to talk about religion, for example. Just to talk about, because there is a problem inside Islam between two groups. So the Muslim, there are two groups. One they call it Sunnis, another one Shiite. And Saddam, he was from Sunni group. So immediately after 2003, so another group actually took over, and they show all the revenge can possible, and they took the country to the nowhere, and now my country, Iraq, I will just say simple word about it. It is a slave to another country called Iran. So what is this? What they decide in Iran, Iraq has to obey immediately. Saddam was against Iran 100%. So those people, I feel sorry about them. Even, for example, if somebody come and attack you and you want to just self-defense, of course. So in here, it's not about Islam and Muslim. So that's why I feel sorry about Islam. So where I was born and grew up, I don't remember till maybe, I don't know, I realized till when I went to the military, that time I realized that there is hate between and this group. But to me, myself, I grew up with the a town. Nobody knows what is the background. Nobody, for example, say, hey, let's go to play soccer. And nobody knows if you are Kurdi, you are Chaldean, you are... but now, no way. First thing they ask, not your question. They ask from where you are, from which group. This is the main question in Iraq. The main question.
So it's become more about ideology rather than relationship now. So now ideology is more important. So, and this is where like the persecution comes from, in the sense that like they've been taught to think, what are you before who are you?
Yeah, so we are actually, we found ourselves, we are between two fire. We are between two fire, okay? So to have a country such as Christian, I don't think so. It's a good idea. I'll just give one example what I mean. For example, if Barack Obama wake and went to the mirror and looked to his mirror, of course he's going to see Barack Obama. He's not going to change. He's not going to look to the mirror and find himself that he's like Pope Francis. No way. So minorities in Iraq, so one of them, the Christian, they are like that mirror. They will tell you the truth. So what's mean tell you the truth? For example, anyone in Iraq talk about what has happened, of course, the Christian, the Yazidis, they will say, yeah, this is what's happening now. It's completely, completely bad, completely, it's against the humanity. It's a crime. It's a genocide. So what they gonna do? So they decide to what? To break that mirror, to destroy that mirror, which mean us.
See.
So
Nobody will say what's going on. For example, let's now talk about Afghanistan, for example. Who knows what is going on? For example, I just read there's a guy, for curiosity, he came from Pakistan to see what's going on. So he went to Kabul, and nobody knows where is this guy. Nobody can call him. And after that, he called from United States. They say, hey, I am here in United States because I found a way, and I just get into the airplane and I found myself now in America. It's crazy, yeah?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about, because we don't know. We don't have people that...
they're saying the truth.
I see. So like Christianity, in the sense that it is, following Jesus, who is the truth, the way and the life, because that's a threat. That's a threat to the people that are trying to govern Iraq. So what is like? So you moved over here 5 years ago, and what did you experience of this? What was it like? What was a day in Iraq like for you as a Catholic priest?
Look, Dominic, to be Christian in Iraq is suicide mission. In Iraq, special priest, I don't think so. One day we went to bed and we think that I will have chance to have another chance to go to bed for next day. I don't think that time was, for example, I keep my last will with another priest give his last will with me. So because each time we don't know what's gonna happen. I'm talking about when I when I carry the two bodies of priests. They got shot in Baghdad 2010. One of them, he was my student. Another priest was kidnapped, and I was try to find with kidnapper how we can release him, for example. I went to hospitals in Iraq. It's not the same hospital. In Iraq, it's a rubbish. So I went to me and another priest, just checking the bodies, looking for a priest because being kidnapped. Me, myself, I just consider myself a lucky priest. Sometimes even I don't know why I'm lucky. Should be not, but some people they say, yeah, you should be. Thanks God. Yeah, I am. But the pain you have to carry, it's not easy at all.
I'm not going to. When people, for example, tell me, tell your story, or say, look, when I talk about my story, first, I don't want anybody to look to me as a hero at all. I am just lucky, maybe, but always look to the group, to the people behind my story. Forget my name, but remember what I'm talking about. I survival almost during the mass, and they attacked the church. They put once a bomb in the main gate and was there like 7 meters, and you know that feeling where is a bomb and you just fly on air, like that, even with this body like elephant, but the bomb actually push me on air. And another time I was just standing front the main gate watering, I don't know. So one of the militia, and still the same militia now in government, and there is a leader, religion leader, run that militia. They are still there in Iraq, and I always talking against my government there in Iraq. It's really completely corrupted. I don't know, maybe 4 times my Facebook they block it. Yeah, even here in New Zealand, once they sent a letter to the police, nobody signed, of course, the letter, but they say that I have like hate message. There's a word like hate. I don't know. Okay, so immediately when the police came, I told them, look, I'm always talk about against the government, not because I like to talk against them, but this is what happened. The corruption. Those people, they are still blah, 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 and I can't stop, okay? In any case, and so that's militia when just they cross from the church, and immediately they open fire, and, they were shooting like overhead, and I was surprised because they were really too close. So they hit the door, main door, they hit the walls, and so when just they passed, I realized that something, burned my leg. And I say, what is this? When I looked to my leg, it was like a fountain of blood going out. So when I look, actually, so I got shot by AK-47 Kalashnikov. And that day it was one of the, I don't know, it was not easy even to go to the hospital because it was curfew, as we call it now, lockdown. But to me, in Iraq, lockdown is completely different. Here, lockdown, oh my god, it's a picnic. Not like in Iraq. In Iraq, lockdown, it's mean curfew, that's mean you will get shot. So I remember in Iraq, in Baghdad, I spent 3 years. I never went outside home after 6 p.m. because it was curfew every day from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. So 3 years I never been outside. So here when people they talk about, oh, it's boring to stay, I always remind the people here, remember how was the life in Baghdad? So be appreciate. In any case, I got shot by the left leg, and till they kidnapped me after a couple months. I don't know if you want me to talk about that.
Well, just before we get onto the kidnapping, I have a lot of questions. So, because, like, how do you function like on a regular schedule? Because like nowadays, if we want to go to mass in New Zealand, there's like within driving distance, there's maybe 4 churches that have a mass every day. I can go to any one of them. On Sunday, I can go to a few different ones. I can go to mass twice a day, multiple times a day, especially at the cathedral and stuff. In a situation where being a Christian is, for all intents and purposes, illegal, like you say, a suicide mission, how do you advertise a mass? How do you say a mass? How do the parishioners turn up for mass in that environment where like someone could just drive by and just like, set off a bomb? How do you do that?
Actually, this is what's happened in Baghdad. During the mass, a lot of churches being attacked and a lot of people being killed during. I remember first attack. It was 1st of August 2004. So they attacked churches in Baghdad, but the Sunday follow, the churches they will full house, fully booked. Like people, they were even the people they don't used to come to church, but now it's the question of faith. I remember that Sunday, people they never come to church. Okay, they are Christian but without practice. But when they attack the churches, they come all of them. I remember the Archbishop, our patriarch, came. He was supposed to come to the mass. Mass was 4:30. Before 30 minutes, it was a bomb in my church, main gate. But people still, they come to the mass. And we do the prayer normally. And the patriarch would talk with the people. And you can imagine it was completely destroyed the things, around. I will tell you, some people say, oh my goodness, are you crazy people? It's not about that. We came from backgrounds. We know that we are not going to die naturally. We are not going to die just like, we know that one day you're gonna be kidnapped, killed, martyr. This is gonna be the story, okay? But the question was when. This is the only thing. Even with the priest, always we don't know if we're going out. We don't know we're going back again to the house. For all Christian, the same issue here. So after that, so the churches in Iraq, and this is what happened with me. When I came here first mass, I looked to the main door, it was open, and also the gate open. To me, it's been, I don't know, years. The main gate, also outside there's church guard, and there's also outside another gun were fully armed. So one time I told the parishioner, I say, look guys, really a little bit, I'm not used to have the main door open when I'm doing the mass, because always thinking what happened for example, with the priest, because immediately they get in and they shoot the people, okay? That imagine is always crossing in our mind here, in me. So, but when you live in situation like that, day after day, it's like a pain. Sometimes pain push you down, but here the persecution, the genocide, push my people, they push them up, which means I never, ever hear from my people someone blame God to what happened. Never. Never. Never I heard that someone say, yeah, because we are Christian, it was not good to, for example, to not be Christian. I never heard that. I never heard, for example, why God, you are punishing us. Never heard that from my people. Never. Never. Yeah, we lose a lot of people. We still through difficult times, but we never blame God for what to us because we know who's the evil here. I know that people, if just they got flu, they will say, "Oh God, why you are punishing me? It's just a flu." Okay, to my people, no, it's a different story here. Completely.
And yeah, I guess the question that I have when you're telling this story is, as many people believe that Christianity is just like another philosophy, just a way of life. It's a choice. You can decide to do it. You can just not decide to do it. In your situation, as you said, it's a suicide mission, but yet you still choose to be Christian. Not only do you choose to be Christian, you choose to be a priest. It's like, why did you choose that? Because surely you knew before entering the seminary that this was, so that it's already a suicide mission to be Christian, and then you went to be the worst kind of Christian, a Catholic priest. So why did you choose that? Well, why didn't you just say, actually, no, it's easier if I just like duck my head down and get out of here?
I wish I have answer for that. Really, I wish, because every day when I went to my bed, for example, in Baghdad, uh, uh, I go to my bed, for example, with hundreds of stories in my head, and with that fear, with that, and the day follow when I wake up with new ideas, talk another project, another activities, and like there's something from inside, okay, just push you more, and you find yourself that you can't stop that. Simply, you can't stop that. What is that? How can I talk about it? Really, I have no idea, and I don't want even to know what is. But at least it keep me. I don't know. Go on. Just
Yeah,
keep me. Not only me. I'm talking about all the people I know. I'm comparing with my people. I am the lucky one. Okay, I am the
yeah.
lucky.
So yeah, I mean that's really beautiful. Like knowing that it's not, it really exemplifies the truth of the faith, that it's not just a decision. It's something that you can't not do. It's part of who you are. It's something that wells up from within our faith, which is from our heart. That God, that's where God speaks to us.
Look, Dominique. For example, uh, the issue here with Christian and with another religion, I fully do respect to another religions. With Christianity, to live as a Christian, no need to know all the theology, philosophy, all those, because the simple things, just how human you are, how treat the people with the simple things. For example, I remember from, I don't know, like middle school, from middle school, I start hear about that word. If someone punch you, you have to punch him back, something like that. I say, no, of course, this is not nice. Okay, we are Christian, we can't do that. But I don't know why we can't do that. I don't know what was the theology explanation of the father. I have no idea about that. Okay, so we will, as a Christian, we live following the Holy Bible, even we don't know all the theology. But with another religion, which I respect the people, they are completely nice. But when they start reading their theology, their ideology they have in their religion, those people, they completely change. They get blind. They want to go to the, I don't know, like 20 ages ago, live there in the dark time. They want to cover women's. There is no freedom. If you just say no to them, they're gonna kill you. So look the different. This is what I'm talking about. Not because we are stupid or we are simple people or we are crazy. Actually, no. Because we built our faith is based on the martyrs. So always maybe in our family we don't have someone, and for example, well educated by theology, but at least he knows a lot of stories. This is what happened to my grandpa, because when they catch him and they want him, you have to see to be Muslim, and they say, why should I be Muslim? I follow Christian. This is my cross. This is the only God. So they kill him for that. So generation, just we took all those stories, and in history, actually, one of the official name to my church, they call the Church of Martyrs or the Church of Blood. And you can see the costume of my patriarch is red, completely red. Why? Because he is carrying all the martyr bloods, and to say, if I am going to kill, I am ready to be killed, to be martyr, because already I am red. So if I going to be killed, that's it. It is already red. You see the different. Okay, so we grow up with that environment. We grow up with that environment. When people come to say, no, you have to blood back, you have to revenge, I say, why we have to revenge? No, because this is how the men do. No, of course, no. This is not us. Completely not us.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really cool, and like I think something that I've always struggled with is because there is a lot of beautiful theology, especially in our Catholic tradition, and I often meet people that can expound this theology really well, and I find them very inspiring, and I try, but I'm not clever enough to read it all. But I often find that sometimes people do get too into the theology, and they're too worried about rubrics and where you're placing your hands and how you're doing certain things. I think there's a place for that, but I think, you're right. In the day to day, in how we interact with one another, it's not Christianity is not about theology, but it's about relationship with the God of the universe, and that is expressed in our relationship with each other, and that relationship should be love, and I think that's fantastic. I want to get on to you mentioned you were kidnapped, and you've just been talking about this, kind of life of nonviolence and of love and of being Christian. But yeah, so could we go on from there and talk about how were you kidnapped, when were you kidnapped, what were you doing, and then talk a bit about what happened during that time?
That time I was start running a private school in my church. 70% they were Muslim. Maybe I think less than 15% they were Christian. And so normal Sunday mass finish. So I'm talking about after 11:30 something in the morning. So the mass start 8. So you can imagine how many hours the mass take. Okay. So I went outside to visit friends of family, friends of mine from the ex-parish. It's a little bit north of, it's a little bit in northern Baghdad. In any case, I took the highway. So immediately I just, there were two cars. They blocked the highway in front of me. They jumped with, they were covered, completely armed with bad words. They opened the door and they took me and they put me in the boot and the sometimes I get confused between the American way or the Kiwis way when I talk about the tongue or
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the in any case. So they took me nowhere. When we arrive, immediately I just heard the voice from outside say, "Hey, look, uh, take this and tie your eyes, and if you're gonna open your eyes, we'll put the bullet between your eyes." So I tied my eyes. So they took me outside. Immediately, I just found myself on the ground. When I wake, I just realized that one of them, he kicked me by his knee in my face. So when I wake, it was completely, blood everywhere. So I'm a little bit was, I don't know, confused. What's going on? What's happened? And I'm of course I'm not going to mention all the things such as like the bad words like American spy. This is the word. At that time I get crazy with that word when they say you are American spy, because they read my name and they thought that with Douglas name I'm like American, okay? And so they say American spy. I said, wait. Why you call me American spy? And yeah, your name, and of course, different story. In any case, the words like infidel, kafir, it was like, I don't know, normal.
They hit me. They, I don't know, a lot of stuff. Those stuff, they are not the same thing when you watch a movie, because in movie you can just see what's the things, but not the smell, not the when the people, they came and you can feel the things when hate. In any case, they tied me with the chains, I remember, and also they took me to a place. It was, let's say, XWC. It's getting like between a storage and WC, and you can imagine how's the smell there, okay? Because it's not really WC, but someone doing the things there, and same time it's a storage. So they threw me there, and the first 4 days, of course, no water, no food. I was only able to, because it was chain here and big lock, so I was able by chain when the day, because I can listen, hear the mosque. So there's a prayer 5 times. From the prayer, I can find what is the time, because my chair, the next door is the mosque. So it's easy to me, because even the mullah, imam, he wake every day 3:45 a.m. And one time I told him, come on, even God is sleeping this time. What are you doing? And he say, honestly, Father, it's not me. I say, who is doing that? I say, I put CD, the prayer, play, and I go to sleep till 5 a.m. I say, what? It's really brilliant. I don't know about that. In any case, so I know from that the time, and I can make a sign on the wall how many days. And in any case, also, it was really good things with that chain. I still remember it. When they tied me, there were 10 chain left with the big lock. So I used the chain as a rosary, and the big look for our Father. But Dominic, please don't ask me how many times I prayed, because before it's just, the same rosary, like 50 times, that's it. But with that one, I don't know, 200, 300, much. I pray I became more calm, more strong. Of course, the group, there were two groups, one during the day, one during the night. During the day, they were, they used them. People, they are poor, they use them by money, and they have no idea who I am. Only they have a list, and I was on the list. Because that group, I became the spiritual father to them. Day by day, for example, when they took me to another group during the night, and they hit me, and the questions, same questions. What is the relationship between church and American church and Kurdish church and blah, blah, blah? Where is that bishop? Or where is that bishop? And I'm Catholic priest. Even worse, I'm Chaldean. That's mean no way to have any words from me. It's no way. And I remember when they punish me, especially the day 6, when they say, remember the first day when you said, you consider yourself that you are here as a picnic? Because I told them when they try, teasing me, and when they start, torch and, punch me with the pistol, I say, hey guys, I am a priest and I've been military. So I am just, I think it was from a long time, just I need a break. So thanks for this picnic. So they hit me more for that, okay? They never forget that. In any case, after 4 days, of course, that really affected me without water. 10 now here in New Zealand. I never go without my bottle of water. There's beside my bed, okay? So those people, they know about psychology, they know what that's mean. Till day 6. First group, when they took me to the second group during the night, they put a lot of questions, they torch me. The day follow, first group, they ask, come again, and they say, please, Father, forgive us, because yesterday we were with them when we punish you, when we will torture you. And I say, yeah, I forgive you. I know they are using you because you are poor people and you have... and of course, the second group, they work with government. They use police car, use the ambulance to move. They have all badges. And they told me that when the first group, they say, we don't know you personally. We have just your name. And they told us, we have to bring you. And really, we thought that you are a bad guy. We don't know, And they start asking me questions. For example, one of them, they were just, talking about Islam. And I was explain to them about Islam. Because they have no idea. Completely no idea about the education, about the things. No idea. Because one of them, he say, why you don't be a Muslim? I say, yeah, okay. Tell me, if I get Muslim, what I will get? Tell me what's the benefit. Okay, I'm happy. Okay, just tell me. Tell me why. Tell me reasons. Tell me what's gonna change with me. So that's what I start talking about, and they never stop. Those people, they never stop asking about the questions. Like one of them, he was his phone ring, and they say, again she's calling me. I ask, it's your wife? She say, yeah, it's my wife. And I say, come on, be nice with her. Okay, just text her, thanks honey, I'm okay, and like that, okay? And they start asking me questions, spiritual father to the group during the day, and I became enemy during the night. Till day 6, they start negotiation because they change my place to another place because that group decide kill him or negotiate it or like sell him for another group because I'm useless. There's no information coming from my side. So I think the group first, they've been nice with me. They didn't actually obey to shoot me just like that. So I think they sell me to another group. So another group, they start negotiated. And that's what happened. When they start negotiated with another priest, and those people, they are going to hear what I'm saying. Please, again, don't judge, because when you are inside that environment, that situation, you know what I'm talking about. So when they start talking with the priest, there were 4 cell phones. Look how smart they are. Cell phone with me, it's open, I was tight, speaker, I can hear. Another phone, connect with another phone, number 2, and number 3, speakers on both, but they were where? In police car. And police car calling from the priest. So nobody can catch the signal where they are. Even if they catch it, police car. And this is the government. So the priest, and my advice, to never let the priest to be in negotiation with anybody. My freely advice. So he's friends of mine. So first question he asked me, he told them, I was listening. He said, I want to be sure he's Father Douglas and he's still alive. Oh, good. And I say, yes. He asked me, tell me the date of your ordination. Okay, 29 June, St. Peter and Paul, okay? Good. I was really afraid. I thought he's going to ask me another question. For example, what is the favorite color you have? Or I don't know, priest. In any case, they told me, don't talk with him in Arabic. Don't talk him in Aramaic language. Talk in Arabic. Because, in Iraq we born with 2 languages, Aramaic, Arabic. But that time, I was able to pass 1 word to him in Aramaic. The word is ayela. Ayela, it's mean in English, that's it. So that's it. It's mean over. It's mean that's it. This is the end. So he catch the word. Immediately he told them, I don't want to talk with Father Douglas anymore. I want to continue just with you. So they hang the phone. That one was close to me. So me and the group, we don't know what's happened. Till after that, during the night, another group come and they took me to the ugly room. I call it the ugly room. Why? Because they smoke there. They were channel always Quran with the louder sound. Of course, they stopped doing that because they thought I'm going to shout, and not let anyone hear my voice. And second, just to show that how believers they are, always listening to the Quran. But they stopping that. They told me that because after that they put just cheap songs, during the day. In any case, so they took me to the ugly room, and immediately I heard one of them, he say, remember when you say the first day you are here in the picnic with us? You will show what's mean picnic. Bring me the hammer. So they bring the hammer. I was, tight, like this. And suddenly something hit my shoulder. Hit first my face. And I realized there's something, when I spit, it was the blood and one of the teeth. And they hit me again to my shoulder. And they say, don't worry, you have a lot of teeth and we have all the night. And they hit me again. They hit my back. And this was the worst thing because I went to the operation, still I suffer from my back. And so I realized the priest told them, keep Father Douglas to you. We don't want him anymore. We are going to count him as one of our martyrs. Good friend, huh? Really good friend. In any case, that date was really the worst day, night ever in my life. And they used, all the things. I'll just show you, for example, when they took and they put it there. A lot of bad things. And still I remember the group that during the day follow. And oh my goodness, they say, how come you can take all those and we told you when they hit you, just shout. Why you were not shouting? Because when you shout, they will stop because they don't want anyone to hear. And I say, why should I shout? And one of them say, oh my goodness, he's going again to talk about in philosophy. He's going to talk about philosophy. So after 9 days, again, so they ask for money. Of course, I have no idea what's happened. They took me. I remember they were from another group, and I think was 2 from the group from during the day. They put me in the car. They put women clothes. They cover me with women clothes. And I still remember when they put that, of course I was tight, but I was able to feel there is something like cover me. And they say, guys, it's a women costume here. Are we talking about women costume? Because in Middle East, there's completely shame to do that, okay? Because some people, they heard that here, they say, oh, what's the difference? No, we're not talking about different. There's completely, this is the case of death of life, okay, when you mess with that. And I told them, this is Arab Muslim tradition. And I use it against them. I say, you have to pay for that. And one of them, he say, what? I say, you have to pay for that. You don't, if you are a man, you can't do that, okay? And if you are a man, you have to shoot me before doing that. This is Iraqi way when you're teasing the another one, because this is tradition. And he told me, immediately with the pistol, he say, just tell me when you are going to stop talking. Just stop talking. So from the reaction, I know they are not going to do something bad. Because one of them he said, just listen. Just listen what he's saying. Just listen. Look where is he now and what he's talking about. So from the reaction, I know probably they are going to shoot me, but not 100%. So when they arrive at place, just they told me, jump. So I was, waiting to somebody shoot me from back. But no, just they let me. And I remember that day, of course, I was a little bit, I don't know where. I asked somebody, driver, taxi, and they say, I'm sorry, I don't have money, but this is from the way it going. I say, and he thought, what are you talking about? This is it's another part of the city. If you want to go there, it's from. He was really nice, So I walk till I went to another church, and there was a priest there, and he was really. He knows that I will be around, and he took me to and say, you have to stay. Say no, I want to go my church. So I went to my church. I went to my room. I remember that day. I switched on all the lights. TV, radio, all the things. And I was awake till 6 a.m. I never went to sleep because I said, I don't want to feel that I am in dream. I want to live the moment. I'm still alive. And here I am. Of course, I never share my story for many years. Why? Because this is story among to my people is normal. It's happened every time. Second, I always telling the people who I am to complain. For example, I don't have right to complain. Why should I stand front God to say, God, why is that happened to me? He's going to answer me same answer. He say, yeah, I know that feeling. The same thing did with my son, Jesus. So why I put myself in that situation? Of course not. So here I am. That's why I call myself, among my people, I'm lucky. But what happened, the people behind my story, it's systematic genocide. Completely.
Wow. I mean, it's quite a shocking story. It's quite amazing to hear and like to think about the reality of the situation. This is something that you went through, and I think nowadays it's more people are more inclined to try and ignore these things. Say, oh, it's not real. Oh, they're making it up. Oh, they're over embellishing. But it's obvious to tell from your story that that's not what's happening here. This is just you telling an experience that you've lived. And yeah, wow. I mean, it's going to take a lot to process this. Luckily, it's going to be recorded so I can watch it back. But I guess a question I have is like now you're in New Zealand. Now you're in a country where you know you don't have to worry about genocide. Do you still feel that people are justified in saying as Christians we are persecuted? Because there is, I suppose, there's an inclination. It's like, oh, we're persecuted. It's like, oh no, you're not persecuted. Go to Iraq. That's persecution. Would you say there's still persecution going on towards Christians in this country or in the Western world?
You know what? First thing killing I would say first thing killing my community, my people, it is not the persecution itself, it's the ignorance. When my people live alone, nobody knows about our stories. And this is from a long, long time ago. What I mean, nobody hear about what happened. For example, when talk about Iraq, it's happened with me. I was, I don't know, when Rome, something, waiting to the gate. And in Italy, I know always they changing the gate every 5 minutes. So I don't know where is the gate, okay? So I just ask somebody, it's the gate. He say, no, 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 that one. And because, I don't know. So, and he turned to me and say, you are from where? I say, from Iraq. And say, do you have bomb in your pocket? Why should I have bomb in my pocket? Look, the people, when they judge, they look just from the outside. They don't know what is going on. So Pope Francis, when he went to Iraq, I like when the Pope Francis say, the church in Iraq is life, still life there. But what means still the church life? It means still try to do the best. Because in 2014, when the Islamic State took over Mosul, there were 125,000 people, Christian. In one day, in overnight, all of them, they fled from Mosul. They went to Erbil. 17,000 families they were. If now counting where they are, 10,000 families, they left Iraq from 2014. So somebody will say, oh, they are still alive. Yeah, but not in their towns. They already left. I met some of them. They were in my camp because I was running a camp in Erbil. So they came here and they said, oh, Father, we know you. You were there. I said, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. We share the same thing. You know what happened. But look to I'm here. I will say my body is here. Yes. But my soul is still stuck there. And I don't want my soul to come here. I don't want that. we have this feeling, we have this saying in with all Iraqi, not even the Christian, all of them, Kurdish, Muslim, all of them, especially those people, they got persecuted, and they left the country. We say we live, we leave Iraq, but still Iraq live in our side, and we don't have actually to forget that. I'm not saying I have homesick. I wish I have homesick. I can solve that problem, but here is different. This is the compassion. This is my home, and they destroyed my home, my community in front of me. A lot of people say, why don't just keep silent? Okay, even when I came to New Zealand, it was agreement between two bishops, because my bishop there in Iraq, he told me, I'm trying to find a place to you now. I don't want to attend your funeral service because you are attacking government. Government, they are still looking for you. You are talking about just find a place. So it was agreement to go to Sydney, but they found New Zealand. But after 1 year, I went back to Iraq. I went to Mosul. I remember I went to Mosul after 7 days when Iraqi army took Mosul from ISIS. That day or that week, nobody get into Mosul. I went there and it was miracle because it was only one bridge, military, we call it mobile bridge, military bridge. And they say, who you are, where you want to cross to go to that? I say, my home is there. I want to see my house. And they say, no, this is military zone. It's not allowed. I say, no, I want to. And they say, go to the officer. I went to the officer and I salute him in Iraqi military way. And I represent myself. I say, I am Father Douglas. I am from Baghdad originally. And I'm now living in New Zealand. I want to see my house. And he say, what are you talking about? Nothing left in the town there. They just smash it like that. Which house? I say, the church. And I remember till now this, he say, I never give permission to anybody to cross the bridge because it's military one. But I don't know why something's stopping me to tell you no. And they say, who you are? I say, no, I say, I'm nothing. I'm just a priest and I want to go there. And I went. And I took their New Zealand flag. Where was the mosque? Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, one of the terrible guy in Mosul from ISIS, Daesh. So I went to the same place and with the New Zealand flag from there. And I sent photo to the diocese here. I told them, this is the first flag here, get into the city. Because I'm proud, I'm Iraqi, but I come from New Zealand just to say this country, this town, now it's free from ISIS. Of course, I took some videos there, but what I saw, it was disaster. They were still shooting. They were there. I saw military. They stopped me two times, three times, different group, because my face, they look at from, I don't know, from Russian or some, I don't know, terrorist from where, because I don't have like same, dark skin, like, like somebody from, and I saw a lot of, bodies there. Oh my goodness. It was completely destroyed, the city. Still smoke, still, I don't know, fires there. But, and also I remember my bishop, and he said, I told you to not move, to not say anything. You are just keep posting, the thing. I say, yeah, we have to say the truth. So again, if you ask me why you are doing that, I wish I know what's the answer. I wish, but there's something pushy, just keep pushing you. I wish I know.
Man,
Yeah.
such an amazing story and such an amazing witness to living out the Christian faith and just speaking the truth. It really struck me how the people that were beating you, you would just talk to them as if they were normal people in the day, and even though they would turn on you at night. I think that's like we can learn a lot from that, because we find ourselves in situations today where people might be around you and they're not speaking the truth, and they're not going to beat you with a rifle, but like talking to them about the truth and saying what is true is terrifying. And
Dominic, one of them, I still remember his name, Ahmed. He said, in one day, if we are going to meet, what you are going to do? I say, I think I'm going to invite you to drink chai, for example, have chai together. And he said, just like that. I say, yeah, you are not going to kill me or, punish me or, like pay back. Or I say, actually, no, I forgive you. But if your hands bloody with another case, no, you have to go to the court. With me, you are free. And he say, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. You are unbelievable. I say, no, it's not me. This is who we are. It's not me. And they say, why? Because I say, if I'm going to do the same thing like what you did, I will be like you. But I'll forgive you because I'm a free man. If I'm not going to forgive you, I'm not going to change the future. If I'm going to do the same thing like what you did, we are going to just stuck in the past, and we will just live there, and we cannot move on. And I still remember another guy, he say, here we go, again start with philosophy. I know what he's talking about. Oh. Yeah. Do you have another question, Dominic?
oh mate, I've got millions of questions.
It,
But I guess what is it's like you've lived this faith, and I guess in a sense nothing's changed for you, because in the sense like of who you are and what you believe, even in the face of great adversity. Have you found that it's been? I often hear stories of people that are Catholic that come from great adversity. When they move to a Western country like America or New Zealand or the UK, they find it harder to keep up that level of faith, or they find it because there's less adversity, there's less to fight for. It's because it's too easy. It's like, oh, I won't go to mass this morning, I'll go to mass this evening. Oops, I missed mass, kind of thing. Have you found moving to New Zealand you've had any difficulties, or you've experienced any major differences that were kind of shocking to you, or anything like that?
to be honest, Dominic, with that, uh, even among our community, Chaldean, for example, they a lot ask me when I visit them for lecture, or I don't know. For example, in the United States, they say they feel sorry because we are from the same group, but this one live in Western country and this live in Iraq. So this both they are practicing their faith, but the people outside, they feel more sorry or more guilty about how people, they are different suffering there in Iraq, and they say what we can do. So I will always say, please don't feel guilty about that. Just continue life. Nobody asks you to fight the devil. Continue the good things. So I always believe how your relationship with God doesn't matter where you are live. Many families here in New Zealand, even from Roman Catholic, not from Chaldean, they remind me like in, I don't know, 15th century, 16th century, they are living in that value, in that way. I'm not saying they are blind, no, but how they're respectful, how they are praying rosary every night. So when I saw this, I bring it to my community. I say, guys, those people, they have no persecution, they don't have, and they never miss their prayers. Of course, maybe I'm talking about 2%, 3%, okay? But they became an example, they became a lesson. Back to my community. I believe the first domestic church is a family. So how the family they are, so that is the church will be. Some people, even in Iraq, if they used to come just to the church, but no relationship. When they go outside of Iraq, they go to the church because it's like social club. It's the only place they can talk in the same language. Somebody understand each other. To me, that's completely wrong. Completely wrong. Some people they say Abuna, Abuna's mean father. Look how it's a different and full, people fully, full house. I don't know. And here, church is not. It's almost sometimes like 50%. Sometimes like empty. I say, yeah, don't be worried about that. God will run the church, not you. But we have to keep that relationship. Don't look to the numbers. Always we are the small group. Always we are the solid, that salt on food. We are not something else. Don't be the majority. Be always the good small example. Don't be the majority. I'm always telling the people, so relax with that. My kids, they are against my will. They don't want to practice the faith. Don't be worried about that. Jesus will follow them. This is issue to give that file to Jesus, not to you. Don't deal with that. You be a good example. Even your son hate what you are doing, because if you force him to come to the church, one day he will leave. He will not back again. Don't force him. Give him good example. Don't, for example, tell your kids, don't play with your phone every time. And you are telling him and you are always, on Facebook. Of course, he's not going to believe you. Look at the difference. The first domestic church is family.
We have good families, we have a good church. We don't have good families. I believe what my teacher told me. He say, when I see church fully, fully packed with the people, I scare. Really, I scare from that community. Why? He say, because why there are so many? Why they have to do, and some group they have to do something else. I don't want actually to give a lecture here, but to be Christian is not just carrying the cross, it's follow. Jesus was not taken about carrying only the cross, but follow. It's important more than carry the cross. Carry the cross, anybody can carry the cross. If you believe in God, if you don't believe in God, if you are Catholic, Roman, Syriac, whatever, when the terrorists, they come and ask you what you are, say, I'm Chaldean. You are Christian. They don't care about your name. They don't care about if you are Roman, if you are from the traditional background, if you are not Roman, liberal Roman. They don't care about that. They know you are infidel. So to us, completely different here, talking about the carrying the cross and follow Jesus. Follow. Don't stop. Follow. Sometime, okay, this has happened to Jesus. How many times? Okay, sometime it's really heavy, and they ask another one to help Jesus to carry the cross. That means us. So look, it's a journey. It's a journey. We have to do our part. We have to do our part. We don't know what's the promising land. It's the same fathers in desert. When they start walk, they don't know what they are going to see the promising land. They say, let's walk and let our kids enjoy the paradise. So we are carrying the cross, but let our kids enjoy the kingdom. Look, this is the difference. We don't have to be selfish here. We have to do our parts. If our part, sometimes, for example, a lot of my people, they ask me, why is just happened to us Christian, for example, in Iraq? I say, not just only in Iraq, also in Nigeria, also in Philippines, everywhere.
This is the evil everywhere. If we have no answer for that, at least we can say, yes, we are going to be a good lesson, a good example. Maybe one day people, they will talk about it. They say, look, oh, Father Douglas, he was, oh yeah, he's a martyr. He was a good priest. Maybe funny a little bit sometimes. Who knows? Yeah.
No, that's brilliant. That's fantastic. And I think I could carry on talking to you all night, but we are going on a bit long now, and people will have to listen to this at some point. So I think we'll have to call it an end there. But thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. If people want to find out more about you, where can they go?
No, not find about me. Find about my people. Looking for Christian in Iraq. Please do that. And if you would say, what can I have nothing to say. Okay, just pray for them. When they talk about that, just mention what happened in Iraq. Thank you so much. That's it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you everybody for listening. We've been Curiously Catholic, and this has been an amazing podcast. I've been absolutely inspired by this conversation. So I really appreciate that, and thank you for tuning in to another episode. If you enjoyed this podcast and you want to find out more about what's going on, look into our website, evangelion.co.nz. Look us up on all podcasting apps, that's Curiously Catholic, and subscribe and leave good comments and give us 5-star reviews. Thank you very much. I've been Dominic Malgeri. We've had Father Douglas on this podcast. I've been curious, you've been Catholic. See you later. God bless.